Tennessee football coach Josh Heupel joins us. Coach, what is up?
Hey, good to be on with you guys. You haven't seen you here for a couple of weeks, so everything's good over here in Knoxville, man. I hope everything's good over there.
We are fired up for upcoming season. Good to see a couple guys getting their names called, being drafted. A few other guys getting an opportunity to sign free agent deals. Really great for your program, Coach, as you going out and recruiting future Vols, right?
Absolutely. Huge day for those guys, the amount of work that they put in. It's great for everybody inside of our program. You talk about players that are currently here, being able to see their buddies work, compete, do the right things, and how that parlays into success on the field, but then it's success on draft day as well. From strength and conditioning to nutrition to medical team. It takes everybody. They all take great pride and great joy in seeing those guys get their names called. Certainly helps on the recruiting side of it, too. I think, top 8 in the country in draft picks over the last 2 years. This year, second in the country and guys being called in the top 3 rounds. There's a ton of positive momentum, and certainly is going to help us as we continue to go through this recruiting cycle.
Coach, it seems like the Tennessee offense has been the topic of conversation during this draft evaluation. It feels like people are trying to figure out the recipe, like it's a secret recipe or something. How does that make you feel, knowing that so many people want to know about the offense, maybe to try to replicate themselves or try to figure out how to stop it? But everyone's talking about Tennessee's offense.
Well, that's the way you want it, for sure. The productivity that we've had, in the last 3 years, have 5 wide receivers, more than anybody in the country as far as a head coach. A number of guys that have been drafted. We've certainly had a ton of success at the quarterback position. You look at Darnell Wright being the first offensive lineman from the SEC, having his name called. I think there's a lot that speaks to what we've done, but also what we're doing and allowing us to recruit at an elite level and, putting guys in a position to be successful. Certainly what we do is slightly different than other people. Our strategy, how we attack people, that's why we've been able to light up the scoreboard the way we have, and our guys have had a ton of productivity, and, looking forward to continued success of those guys. A lot of what we're doing has trickled into to what's going on in the NFL as far as our structure and just talking to different NFL teams and our guys having an opportunity to showcase those skills in that.
We're talking to Tennessee head football coach Josh Heupel here on Josh and Swain, and so much of the attention ends up being on your offensive side. You've talked recently very confidently, excited about what you might be able to do on defense, talking about expectation of elite defense. What do you see on that side of the ball? Why do you think that can be the next step for you guys on defense?
Well, it will be. We took a step in year 1 to year 2. You look at how we defended the run, our success creating 0 negative yard plays. Top 2 in the conference the year before had made some strides. When I first got here, we were at 67 scholarship players that were counted for the fall. I think we actually had 65 that were with us during the course of that fall. Most teams were at 95 because of COVID seniors that year. We were decimated by the transfer portal before we had a chance to solve that problem. Currently, we've added athleticism. We've added length. We have a lot more competition inside of our building and certainly on the defensive side of the football. And I expect us and our players expect to take another massive jump this year defensively in our productivity. And at the end of the day, man, the standard here is to win championships, but there have been a lot of great defensive players that have come through here, and the challenge for us is to go play elite defense, and I believe in who we have here in the building, coaches and players alike.
I know something else that you wanted to do when you arrived. You talked about a couple of years ago, the roster had to improve, adding bodies, depth, competition, but flipping the culture. Do you remember when you felt like that was starting to happen, and what allowed it to happen?
Well, at the end of the day, your staff has to be like-minded and in alignment. The message has to be carried, and the standards have to be carried over into every position room, into everything that we're doing, from medical to strength and conditioning, all of it. And then your players have to buy into it. And typically you got to have great leadership in there that helps push everybody over the fence and start, living right and doing right and creating great energy and competition and accountability inside of the building. Some of the success in year one, every time I've been a part of starting something from scratch a little bit as a player or as a coach, there's increased buy-in through each cycle as kids get comfortable in hearing the message and understanding what it's going to look like every day. And some of the success that we had during the course of the fall, once we started playing, helped continue to heighten our players' urgency in doing things the right way and increasing our culture inside the building. And we took a massive step last year. This group, since they've gotten back in January, has been absolutely awesome. And, how they approach their workouts, how they approach their daily life, the competitiveness that they have from within. There's increased leadership inside of our building, guys that are going to make sure that their teammates are doing it right. And, I love what we did through spring ball, extremely physical, a lot of great competition on the grass. As we go into the third quarter of our off season here in summer workouts, our urgency has to continue to increase, and we got to continue to grow as a football program.
Josh Heupel, Tennessee football coach, here with us on Josh and Swain. Coach, you crisscrossed the state of Tennessee, most recently with the Big Orange Caravan, and you and Coach Barnes and Coach Harper. Any moment stood out to you more than others in some of those caravans?
And I don't know. I think the reception that we got in mid-state, just the amount of people and the energy that was there inside of the stadium there, was absolutely phenomenal. That was our first week out. We finished it in the Tri-Cities, and the reception that we got there, the amount of people, the passion. I think that's one of the great things about being here, and I felt like it would be that way. It's probably even greater, and I don't know, there's more urgency from our fan base than maybe I even anticipated. And certainly they have been a huge part of creating the momentum inside of our football program. Our guys have gone out and worked and competed. They see the connection and the love that they have for one another and how hard they play on Saturdays. But the energy that our fan base has brought has helped us on the field. It creates urgency for our current players, 365 days out of the year. But it's a massive help in recruiting too, and I can't thank them enough for how they show up and show out each and every time they have an opportunity to.
You mentioned that passion with the fan base. What was your reaction when you got a chance to meet the fan that tattooed your face on his leg after the win against Alabama?
Well, my wife hasn't done that yet. I'm kind of questioning her, her commitment at this point. But it was cool to get a chance to see him. He was actually here for our coaches clinic, and got a chance to spend some time with him. I love that he's passionate about Tennessee and where we're headed.
Yeah, Josh Heupel is with us, Tennessee's head football coach. You're coming out of the spring. You have Joe Milton kind of taking over. You have Nico who's come in. What did you see from those guys this spring? Gaston as well at quarterback. This spring, what did you see, and what do you want to see next from those guys as they try to get ready for the fall?
Yeah, for Joe Milton, a guy that was a leader inside of our program a year ago, supported Hendon in a great way. Everybody saw the impact that Hendon had, but Joe had impact inside of our building, stepping into that role. He's continued to grow as a man and as a leader, and continued to refine himself on the football field. I thought he was extremely efficient and effective inside of the pocket, had great balance. Eye discipline was really solid and extremely accurate with the football during the course of our spring practice. Nico's come in and just tried to prove it and work for it every single day. And, that's during bowl preparation. He was on the scout team during bowl prep. Everybody on the defense side of the ball, coaches and players, got a chance to see what he looked like. He was extremely impressive during that. He's handled himself in a very mature way. It's really hard to be, 18 years old and come on campus with the type of fanfare that he has. He's handled it in a really good way. His teammates absolutely love him. He's continued to grow throughout the course of spring ball and his understanding of what we're doing. Day one, the game was moving really fast for him. It continued to slow down every single day. He's been resilient. And after a bad play or maybe not his best practice, responding the right way and coming back the next play or the next day. I love his energy and his effort and trying to, really be a man that masters his craft at the quarterback position and someone that's going to have to grow into leadership roles as we go through this summer and through the fall for sure, as he becomes more entrenched in understanding what we're doing. Gaston Moore, it's the most work that he's gotten in his time with our staff at the previous stop or here at Tennessee. Opportunity for him to grow. I thought he handled it. He continued to get better every single day. Performed really well in the orange and white game. His first real opportunity to get a bunch of snaps in a situation like that. That room competes with each other, but they do it in a positive way. I love what that group's doing right now.
Coach, the Vol Club, Aspire Sports Group, has identified themselves as one of the best in the country. And we've seen some momentum there with the Vol Club. What do you think it's going to take to kind of take it to the next level and really separate ourselves from all the competition in college football?
Well, at the end of the day, it's my job, it's our job as a program to provide the best player experience. And that happens with what we're doing and all the departments here on campus. It's our fan base is a huge part of that. What game day looks like, the energy, the passion. And now name, image, and likeness is a part of the experience. And it's forced guys to be more mature when they first get to campus. I think it's changed some of their habits. They're very intentional in what they're doing. But it also provides great opportunities for our players to be engaged throughout our community and to be active in our community and make a difference in it. And, this is the next evolution of collegiate sports, for our fan base to continue to help us provide the best player experience in college football. It's vitally important to the success of this program with our current players and a huge part of today's landscape, obviously. And I can't thank our fans enough. Spire's done a great job working with our administration and making sure that we're doing things the right way, but we are providing the best player experience that we can and, like-minded and what we're doing and where we're going. I need continued support from our fans.
Yeah, and last thing for me, how have you seen on the recruiting trail conversations change, reaction from recruits now that you have on-field results, especially this past season, to show them? How has that affected opportunities in recruiting?
Yeah, our first recruiting cycle here, we get here really the beginning of February. I got named, at the very end of January. You're talking about what the culture was, and you're saying this is what it's going to look like. Now they've had a chance to experience it, see it when they're here on campus, watch it on TV, watch it live and in person, and understand that we're going to play the most exciting brand of football in college athletics. And extremely aggressive in all three phases of the game. We're going to let our guys pin their ears back and go play with an aggressive nature. So like the conversations, it's like two worlds that are completely separated and so far apart from each other as far as where we're at now and where we start. And people can see the momentum that we have. They understand we're continuing to improve. When we get people here on Rocky Top, they get a chance to see the university, see the city of Knoxville, feel the energy from our fan base, man. This is a really unique environment right now, and we're able to recruit at an elite level.
A lot of fun for fans to follow right now as well. Tennessee football coach Josh Heupel here on Josh and Swain. Thanks so much for taking the time to join us today. Great to have you on the show. Hope to talk to you again sometime soon.
Hey, always being great on you guys. Hope everything's going great in Mid-State, and go Big Orange.
Thanks, Josh Heupel, Tennessee head football coach, right here on Josh and Swain.